Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually going to be taking a look today at the collection. I have not done one of these videos, I'm not sure exactly for what reason, but today we're going to attempt it. So, on this wall, that's pretty much the only Transformery thing. A little bit of the Jolly Roger. So, my office is decorated with not only Transformers, but other things. And then we go around to the blank wall, and oh my lord. What do we have here? An unearthly amount of robots. So let's go ahead and we will start down here at the bottom. And if you guys can see, we actually in the back corner there we have, this is the obviously RID shelf. And we have RID Ultra Magnus, Optimus Prime, the Universe version of Devastator, because I like his colors better than I do the original build team. And then we have Midnight Express, Rail Spike, and Rapid Run. We have the Legends version of Scourge, Megatron, or as he's known elsewhere, Gigatron. And then to stand in for Ruination, I just used, obviously, Takara's Bruticus. And then in the very back there, kind of hidden, is the actual Scourge, since we have a more appropriate size compared to Bruticus. That's why that Scourge is hiding back there with his new Legends version taking over the main role. And then we move up to the Prime shelf, and we have 2015 RID Optimus Prime, Cliff Jumper, Takara, Ultra Magnus, and since obviously Alpha Triumph was in the show, so we just went ahead and slapped Titan's Return, Alpha Trion, Beast Hunters Optimus Prime, and then with all these little Micron dudes, don't ask me to cover their names because I don't remember. I obviously, since he's from the Siege line, that's Lionizer. I don't know this one. I can't remember this one. This one's War, and then I'm not sure on that one. But as far as the bad guys go, we have Sharkticon Megatron, and behind him Shockwave. Next to him, First Edition Starscream. Normal Takara with a little few upgrades, regular Megatron, Aero Drone, normal standard Chase Drone, and then we have, we already did Sharkticon Megatron. I'm losing track. We have Takara Breakdown, and then, what is this? Dreadwing. Yes, he was an interesting character. So, moving on up there, guys, we obviously have the Siege War for Cybertron shelf, and let's actually start over here. So we have Fall of Cybertron Optimus, Planet X Genesis, or Omega Supreme, obviously Double Dealer, and we have the newly minted, yes, I turned him into an Autobot, get over it, Wing Thing, and Knock with his appropriate Autobot symbol now. If you've seen on the main channel, we covered these guys in yesterday's video, and I cannot remember for the life of me this guy. And then behind him, Beachcomber, Prowl, Optimus Prime, Optimal Optimus, which has been slightly retconned by Pyro the Primes into G1, like the timeline, whatever. And then we have the Netflix Mirage, we have Sideswipe, Ironhide, next to him, the Autobot Impactor, Hound, and Ratchet. And both these guys are rocking versions of, obviously, Run. So, when we move up to the Decepticon shelf, we have Hearts of Steel Shockwave and HOS Thundercracker. We also have I had breakfast this morning, I'm pretty sure about that. Obviously, we have Acid Storm, Hot Link, Slug Slinger, Skywarp, and behind him is hiding Red Wing. And then we have Megatron sitting upon his throne of reflectors. And we have the small drone from HOS Shockwave, along with Titans and Siege Ape Faces, respectively. And then we have the Beast Wars Megatron in his Titan Master form, sitting on top of none other than our boy that I so have to get Snapdragon his own review. And then of course we have Astro Train, not Sky Warp, we have Thundercracker, and my new favorite for some odd reason. You know, like, there's just something about Trigger Happy that I like his jet mode. Then of course we have the standard boys. We have Starscream, Sound Blaster, and Shockwave. And then, oh my goodness, we move on to my ever so favorite shelf, which all the collection tends to go through, it's like a revolving door around here. Figures come and figures go. So if you see some figures, or on the converse side, you don't see some figures that have been in reviews, that's probably because they're no longer part of my collection. I gave them away, or am planning to. So we'll start over here. Now, you know what, the Beast Wars. Let's start with the simple Beast Wars, guys. We have Masterpiece Dinobot, and Optimus Primal, and Cheetor. Then we have Generations Rhinox. Then we have the original Tigatron and Airraiser. And then we have the anniversary version of Rat Trap. And then after Rat Trap we go to Airhammer and Torka. We have the Transmetal Optimus Primal, and Transmetal Optimal Optimus Primal. And then we have the Tool Silverbolt. In some ways he is a tool. Anyway, I like his character. And then we have the Transmetals Rat Trap and Cheetor. And then we move on to the Transmetal 2 boys, although I think Tiger Hawk over there in the corner has been retconned as an actual Fusor. We have Transmetal 2's Black Arachnia, Cybershark, Cheetor, Prowl, and then we have the Transmetal Awesome Bounty Hunter Depth Charge. And then we come up here, and this one's a little bit odd because that's also the Beast Wars Megatron Titan Master masquerading as one of those dudes. And so here we have Slitherfang. And who's that monster? Oh yeah, it's the Stripticon. And then we have Pounce and Wingspan back there. And then we have Shroot, Cyclonus, Galvatron, and Cyclonus and Fracas. And then, oh gosh, what is this guy's name? You know what, there's going to be a few of these guys that, there's one of the monster boys. And then we have Mind Wipe, and we have Skull Smasher, and then Wolfwire, Weird Wolf, whatever you want to call him. We have Ultra Magnus, and we have the Siege Springer, and we have the upgraded Optimus Prime, Shuffler, what's his, Fire Drive, that's what it is. And we have the Star Convoy, Optimus Prime, and then we have Brainstorm, and of course, the wise old Metroplex. And, of course, Jetfire / Skyfire. And that is pretty much that for that entire crazy shelf. So, moving on, we have the big boy, Scorpnock, with his Nemesis, Fortress Maximus, and we have, it's not 6-gun, Cog, that's what it is. And then we have Grand Galvatron, along with Tripredicus, and Skylink's Blaster, and Nova Prime, or what is it, Nova Maximus? It's whatever you want to make it. And then we move on to, again, my other favorite shelf. And missing back here in this little void by Megatron's Transmetal Tail is where Scourge will be, but I gave away my old Scourge, and I've got one in the package that I'm going to unbox, and he'll go right in that void. So that's why that's there. But we're going to start over here. We can see we got Scorpnock, Inferno in the back, and then this ungodly thing, which, you know what, I kind of like his original name of Aqua Sting. That's actually kind of boss, I'm not going to lie. Injector's cool too, but Transmetal Rampage, Waspinator, Scavenger, Megatron, and Tarantulas, respectively. Transmetal 2 Dinobot, and Transmetal Pterosaur, which is an amazing figure, I'm not going to lie. And if we go back here, we have Manta Ray, original version of Tarantulas, Waspinator, Pterosaur, which they were the same height in the show. Of course, one is a anniversary generations version. And then we have, I can't remember who made it, Black Widow, but essentially it's Black Arachnia, and Quick Strike and Megatron. And then, of course, we've seen this fire-breathing fool here, Transmetal 2 Megatron. And then we move down here to Masterpieces. Now, this is Quakewave, but as we also know him, Shockwave, Starscream, Thundercracker, sitting upon a stand which is being held up by Shockwave, and his tapes, which we actually have Rumble, Buzzsaw, Laserbeak, and then Generations Ravage, which fits in there, I'm surprised. And then I cannot remember what third party, that's basically just my stand-in for Masterpiece Megatron. Then we have Wheeljack, Optimus Prime, Hot Rod, or Rodimus, I just don't have him attached to his trailer, and then Old Grim over here. And then moving on to a shelf of stuff that I had most of these guys and got rid of them like a fool. But we have the YOS, Omega Supreme, and Optimus Prime. We have Wing Saber, Shock Blast, Dive Bomb, Starscream. I love this this kind of Devastator recolor of Demolisher. It's awesome. And then we have Unicron and Megatron. And then up here we have, I think it's the Rescue Minicon team along with Gun Barrel. So I just liked Gun Barrel. He was kind of cool to get by himself. And then we have down here, oh, you fell, Eraser. How dare you? Get back up there, girl. There we go. Okay, we'll come back to her. And we have Tankor, Tank Drone, Striker, Big Head Megatron, which is awesome. McDonald's, Jetstorm, Motorcycle Drone, Original Control Suit Megatron, Thrust, Jetstorm, Obsidian, and Scavenger. And then behind him is Mirage. And then Obsidian is piloting Megatron, which, you know what, not a lot of people like the Beast Riders, but I totally do, because Chi is being piloted by Cheetor. And then see behind him we have Savage Noble, the Dinobot Striker, Spartan, which is definitely not a Transformer, but I went ahead and I don't know if you can tell, I slapped an Autobot symbol on his chest. And we have the creepy Black Arachnia, Silverbolt, McDonald's Night Scream, Optimus Primal, and then because the Beast Machine's Rat Trap was just so terrible, I went ahead and put in a differently colored Transmetal Rat Trap to stand in for him. Alright, and then we started down here. We have Armada, the Armada shelf, and we have Blur, and we have Jetfire, and because they re-released Airazor in that line, that's why I just put her down here, was to help fill out the Autobot side, because the Decepticon side is pretty full. And we have Cybertron Scattershot, Optimus Prime, the Skyboom Shield, the actual Armada Rhinox, and we have the Unicron Battles Hotshot and Jolt. And then of course we have all their mega, all their deals like Incinerator, and Armorhide, Sparkplug, Commodore, and then we have the Dark Energon Saber, which the handle actually is up here with Energon Demolisher, but the connection deal right there, you can see that they form part of the sword, that actually cracked. So what I had to do was I had to get one of the original Star Saber teams to serve as the hilt, while the blade is actually still the full-on Dark Energon team. And then we have Demolisher and Blackout, the original. I have a very, very fond memory of that. I went down to a place in Oklahoma called Lake Eufaula, where my grandmother lived at the time, and I got this guy. I don't even remember how old it was, so I was happy to get him. And then we have from the Siege, the guys that Stormcloud Visper, serving as a size appropriate for the Generations version of Thundercracker, or powered up Starscream. And then of course our one of our favorite iterations of Megatron, the Armada Megatron. And Tidal Wave is down here serving as a personal transport for Nemesis Prime, who has jacked the Generations Nemesis Prime's Darksaber, which was actually his to begin with, if that makes sense. And then we have Run Over. And of course the other Unicronian Agent Sideways with his appropriate Decepticon head on. Wow, that's that second whole huge shelf. But while we are down here, we will move on over, and you guys can see this is my G1/G2 shelf. We got G1 Cyclonus with the Insecticons. We've got the GoBots Megatron. That's not Cliff Jumper, that's actually Hubcap. Bumblebee, Rapido, G2 Optimus Prime, G1 Slag, and the reissue of Hot Rod. And then down here, we just have Optimus Prime's trailers kind of hidden in the back there. And then we have War for Cybertron, Trypticon. And we have WFC/FOC, Thundercracker, Skywarp, Megatron, Starscream, and Shockwave. And then because I felt he was a little bit better of a design, and you know, he he also transforms into a very appropriate SUV, so I just stuck RID in there because I liked him, again, better than the FOC version. And then we come up here to the shelf, and we have Universe Nemesis Prime, if we can get it to focus there, Rodimus Unicronus, and Studio Series Blackout, which is one of only 3 movie figures I have. The second one being down here is Nitro Zeus's body, but as you can see, Thunderwing is in control of that. We have Titan's Blitzwing and Titan's Return, well, Tidal Wave, and the head of Starscream, which is clear and awesome. And you know what, if you stick it on like Nitro Zeus and like leave the wings out like this, it's kind of a cool secret-ish thing, because it's G1 Starscream's ghost head. But anyway, moving on, we have Omega Supreme, and we have Sea Spray, Goldbug, and Beachcomber on their G2 versions, on top of Fortress Maximus. And then we have the GoBots Optimus Prime in the control panel, in the control center, because why not? Devastator, Minosaur, Defensor, and then we have Titan's Optimus Primal, or Bat Convo, as they tend to call him. We have Cup and Flintlock, and we have Hardhead and Duros, Swoop, Sludge, FOC, WFC, Grimlock, because he's so much better than the Power of the Primes one. And then, that's not Pterodactyl, but the one that, I cannot remember, but he got repainted as Pterodactyl. And then we have Slag, yes, Slag, okay. Molten metal, that's why he was named after that, not the British term for it. Snarl, Slash, and Punch, Counterpunch. And then moving on, we have G1 Skyfire / Jetfire. We have the Siege, Cybertron, Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime. And we have Jetfire is Sky Shadow disguise, which Sky Shadow was a Beast Wars name they reused. And there was like some sort of like weird deal that he referenced Sky Shadow the Predacon whenever he's going undercover. I was like, that's weird. How did that happen? Is there a version of the Beast Wars that happened in the UT universe? And then we have Takara Lio Convoy. And then this is my last movie figure, which is Optimus Prime, which, you know, he's not a psycho, bloodthirsty killer like the one in Michael Bay's movies. Put your shoulder down there, buddy Prime. And then we have, what was it, Timelines, Obsidian. And then we move on to probably the shelf that is with the most high collectible stuff. So we have the San Diego Comic-Con Optimal Optimus over there. Primal Prime, you've seen a lot of these guys before. Ramulus, and Universe, Sideswipe, and Sunstreaker, and the hard-to-find 1997 Japan release of Rat Trap. And then we have, I don't know if this was Timelines or not, but anyway, it's one of the exclusive pre-Earth Air Razors, DevCon, and Depth Charge. We have Ape Link, which he's hard to find. We have Universe Skywarp, which was part of the Wreckers. And then we have Big Convoy over here. And then moving on, we have the equally hard to find Universe Megatron, Cryotech, and Convention Like, I never even went to any of the conventions. I've never been. That's odd. But we have convention Rampage and Thrustinator, and of course, Cyclonus. And then Terroraiser also. Terroraiser. Jeez, Terrorsaur is also convention exclusive. And then we finish off with Ravage Boy over here. But that is not all, because behind my closet door is ones that just get rotated randomly out. You can see down there, that's the Scourge I referenced earlier, which he is just, if I can get it to focus here, he is just legitly awesome. Anyway, he'll be taken out of the package, because why buy a Transformer? They're not, if they're meant to transform, why are they in the package? It doesn't make sense to me. But we have the Armada version of Grimlock, or the G1 version of Grimlock, which is basically just a recolor of the original Dinobot figure. And we have Masterpiece Skywarp, and we're actually finishing off with Titan's 6-Shot. And like I said, these guys just get rotated out. This is just someplace to put them. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that look at the collection. And until next time, guys...